I'm a KD fan. I mean,
here it is, Mr. However.
No, what I want to illustrate is this. You don't pick ground and go, you know what, I stand on this ground and this ground alone. I've planted my flag. I have made arguments to much criticism that KD has arrived at the LeBron James level, and I think you and I have had the debate, and I said specifically he's snatching the crown from LeBron James' head. Have I not said that?
Probably.
He wore burnt orange for 1 year. I happen to be a massive Texas Longhorn fan. I am a Kevin Durant fan, but that's not going to mean that I stand on this ground and say, you know what, Kevin Durant's great. Hook him, and he can do no wrong. I don't do that. My job is to tell the truth, even when I don't like the truth. And the truth of the matter is this. Something's changed with Kevin Durant, and it's not a change for the positive. 5 ejections in 1 year, as opposed to having 1 in your entire career, you have changed. Now, is it a change for the positive? I listened to Bill Simmons' podcast. It was fascinating.
You didn't appreciate Blog Boys? Blog Boys is a great contribution to the sports media lexicon. You're going to use it.
I encourage anyone to go listen to this podcast and ask yourself, do you in the end side with Dominique or do you side with Will on this? Because Kevin Durant comes off as someone who is obsessed with criticism, obsessed with what he calls blog boys. Simmons will ask him a question having nothing to do with media, having nothing to do with criticism. Right. He could ask Kevin Durant, hey, Kevin, how do you feel about Black Panther? Is it your favorite movie of the year? And he'd go, blog boys.
Well,
I mean, at a certain point, he goes, blog boys.
At a certain point,
I bet the over-under is 12 on how many times he says blog boys.
At a certain point, he was using it as a joke, and it was funny, and it was fine. But
it shows he's obsessed, man.
He has matured. That's fine. He's matured into someone that maybe you don't like. I personally like it. But you're acting as if this change has somehow turned him into a bad person. He's getting texts, not arrests.
You're pushing it to extreme.
You're screaming about it as if what happened to him is bad. He's a different type of player now than he was a kid. That's fair. The Blog Boys thing was accurate and also funny. Nothing's wrong with what he did on that podcast.
Here's the honest truth. And he said it in the podcast, that everybody's going to put me on the couch, they're going to psychoanalyze me, they're going to criticize me. But quite honestly, when you listen to it, it's hard not to. You're obsessed with criticism. You're obsessed with what people say about you. He names names. He talks about Stephen A. He talks about everybody. Good. Every single thing falls. He wants to tell you it doesn't matter to him, but it's quite clear that it does. And when you call a ref a BAMFer, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get ejected. Okay, that's how it works. Again, we talked about this top of the show. Life has consequences. Choices have consequences. Kevin Durant's paying it for acting a certain way now that he didn't act before. Here's the question. You said it doesn't hurt anybody. Did it help his team when he was gone for 3/4 of that game? Did it help the Warriors?
You're the same person who earlier in the show said the regular season doesn't matter. So now all of a sudden, Kevin Durant
so you don't
missing
have to
half
show
a
up?
game, missing half a
you
game
really think
is
I believe?
bad.
You think I believe because the regular season doesn't matter, you don't have to show up for work?
No, he shows
you can
up
get
for
yourself
work.
Kicked out
he's
5
pretty
times?
great. You just said that he's snatching the crown, which may be a bit of a hyperbole, but he's great.
But none of that insulates you from criticism.
Oh no, he's gonna get the criticism. He knows it. He said it in the podcast the whole time. He welcomes the criticism. He may not like it, but he knows he can't do his job without it. And he did not hurt Stephen A. I promise you. I'll text Stephen A. after the show. I promise you that he does not care. His feelings aren't hurt about that. I bet you the ref has been called a lot worse. It's fine. These are not arrests. These are texts. He's still great.
Hey, the point isn't about Stephen A. The point
brought him up.
is about Kevin Durant.
Right.
He is the one that is obsessed. He's the one that's hurt. He is hurt by the criticism.
Obsession is something that we love in everyone else. We talk about how all these other great players are obsessed with whatever. How Michael Jordan finds all these things to put on his back that motivates him. How are you not to say that that Kevin Durant is not allowing this criticism to motivate him? It comes down to there's certain guys we allow to do it and certain guys that we don't allow to do it.
He's hurting himself and the team. It's paying a price.
Well, I love it.
Agree to disagree,
I love Kevin Durant.
boys.
I wish he was
You guys are passionate, and I love that.